Hello, my name is Maddie Moo, and I would be so grateful if you could support me and my channel by subscribing. Here are 15 quick, quirky, fun facts about animals and nature, in conjunction with my book. Okay, let's dive straight in. Number 1. Owls. These silent hunters have special fringed feathers that let them swoop down without making a sound. Their eyes are tube-shaped, not round, which helps them see far in the dark, but makes them unable to move their eyes in their sockets. That's why they have to turn their heads up to 270 degrees to see around them. Number 2. Bats. The only flying mammals, bats use echolocation to navigate the dark by sending out high-pitched sounds and listening for echoes. Some species, like the Honduran white bat, live in tiny leaf tents they make by folding leaves over themselves. Despite their spooky reputation, most bats are fruit eaters and help pollinate plants like bananas and mangoes. Number 3. Leopards. These big cats are masterful night stalkers, using their incredible night vision and stealth to ambush prey. Unlike lions, leopards prefer to live and hunt alone, often dragging their kills up trees to keep them away from scavengers. Their spotted coats, called rosettes, help them blend into the shadows perfectly. Number 4. Foxes. With their sharp hearing, foxes can detect the tiniest movements of rodents under snow or dirt, even from several feet away. They communicate with over 40 different sounds, including eerie screams that can be mistaken for a human voice. Some, like the Arctic fox, even change fur color with the seasons, going from brown in summer to white in winter for camouflage. Number 5. Cat's eyes. Have you ever wondered why cats' eyes glow in the dark? They have a special layer called the tapetum lucidum that reflects light back through their retinas, making them super sensitive to dim lighting. This also helps them see in light levels 6 times lower than what humans need to see clearly. Number 6. The Deathwatch Beetle. These little beetles got their creepy name because they tap their heads against the wood to attract mates, making a ticking sound once associated with omens of death. They love feasting on old rotting wood, sometimes even damaging historic buildings. The ticking can get loud enough to hear at night when everything else is silent. Number 7. Fireflies. These glowing bugs use bioluminescence to attract mates, and different species have their own unique flash patterns. Some fireflies, like the femme fatale photorus, trick other fireflies into coming close by mimicking their light patterns, only to eat them. In some places, firefly populations synchronize their flashes, lighting up entire forests in a magical blinking display. Number 8. Moths. Unlike butterflies, most moths are night creatures with fuzzy bodies that help keep them warm in cool temperatures. Some species, like the lunar moth, don't even have mouths. They live just long enough to mate and lay eggs before dying. The death's head hawk moth, famously featured in The Silence of the Lambs, has a spooky skull-shaped marking on its back. Number 9. Vampire bats. The only mammals that survive entirely on blood, vampire bats use heat sensors on their noses to find the best spots to bite. They don't suck blood like in horror movies, but rather lap it up, while an anticoagulant in their saliva keeps it flowing. They even share food by regurgitating blood for their bat friends who didn't get a meal. Number 10. Moonflower. This ghostly white flower only blooms at night, filling the air with a sweet, intoxicating scent to attract nocturnal pollinators like moths. Its blossoms unfurl in just minutes, creating a dramatic blooming effect in real time. By morning, the flowers close up and wait for the next night to shine again. Number 11. Mushrooms. Some mushrooms, like the eerie ghost fungus and the bioluminescent mycena, actually glow in the dark. This glowing effect, called foxfire, is caused by a chemical reaction within the fungi that may help attract insects to spread spores. In ancient times, people used glowing mushrooms as natural lanterns in the forest. Number 12. Nocturnal plants. Some plants have adapted to bloom only at night to attract specific pollinators. The queen of the night cactus, for example, produces a massive, sweet-smelling flower that blooms just once a year for a single night. Many night bloomers have white or pale-colored flowers to stand out in the darkness. Number 13. The giant squid. One of the most elusive deep-sea creatures, the giant squid can grow longer than a school bus. It has enormous eyes, the size of dinner plates, to detect even the faintest traces of light in the deep ocean. Almost everything we know about them comes from specimens that washed ashore. Living ones have only been filmed a handful of times. Number 14. Anglerfish. Deep-sea anglerfish have a built-in headlamp, a bioluminescent lure hanging in front of their faces to attract prey. The females are much bigger than males, and when they mate, the male bites onto her and eventually fuses with her body, losing his own organs. This bizarre relationship ensures he never has to hunt for food again. Number 15. The Vampire Squid. Unlike its name suggests, the vampire squid doesn't actually suck blood, but it does have an eerie, blood-red body and cape-like webbing between its tentacles. It lives in almost total darkness and avoids predators by turning itself inside out, covering its body with its own webbing to appear bigger and scarier. Instead of ink, it releases glowing mucus to confuse enemies before escaping.